this is Salim from Tuner product team, and today we will go over how to integrate LiveKit with Tuner. So first, I will be following our LiveKit documentation here, so feel free to check it out. And our prerequisites is creating a Tuner account, which I did already, and creating a new agent. So first, here is the new Tuner account that I created, and with every new account you create, you get 300 free credits, which are equivalent to 60 to 70 free calls for you to test the platform. Now let's create a new agent. Let's call it restaurant and custom API. We need to choose custom API, not retail or VAPI here, and then create the agent. I will skip the agent configuration for now, but let's create one or two checks just to make sure that everything is working. Hallucination and answer relevance. Add checks. Okay, now let's go to the actual steps in order to integrate LiveKit with Tuner. So first we need to install our SDK, and I built a very simple agent here. Let's install the SDK and let's set up our credentials. So we need our Tuner API key and the workspace ID and the agent ID. So let's get them. First is the agent ID, which is the agent remote ID here. And let's go to get the workspace ID and the Tuner custom API. Okay, now I have added them in my environment variables. Let's go to the next step, which is adding the Tuner plugin. Now the placement here is important. We need to add the plugin after we build the session, after we build the LiveKit session, and before we start the session. So let's scroll down to the full example. Yeah, so as you can see here, we add the Tuner plugin after we build the session and before we start it. So let's copy this here and add it after we build the session. Now let's add the missing import. And let's go over them one by one. So first, our plugin collect the session, and then it collect the keys in order to connect with Tuner. So we have our API key here, the workspace ID, and the agent ID that we already did. And then we choose the call type. We can either have a phone call or a web call. Then we have two very important functions. So first in Tuner, we require the recording URL for each call. So this function simply returns the URL of each call. Let's get it from here. Let's actually copy the two functions. And I will add it here. Okay. So in the current logic, I'm using an S3 bucket in order to get the recording URL, but you can use any logic that fit your use case here. And the second function is the cost calculator, where in Tuner we collect the cost of each call because we consider the cost as more than a number. It's a signal for us. It helps us to detect anomalies, and by comparing different prompt versions, by comparing the cost of different prompt versions and different call outcomes and types, we can actually identify what is driving up the cost of the call and see if this cost increase is even worth it or not. So again, the function I have here is a very simple function. You can create your own logic, but keep in mind that if you are using LiveKit inference pricing, you need to check out their own pricing for each model in this link here. And yeah, and that's it. We have the extra metadata. If you need to further categorize your call, you can send us more data for each call, and the timeout for each request, and max retries for each failed request. And that's it. So everything is is done here. Now let's run the agent and test if everything is working. Okay, now back to the platform. And as you can see here, the call is integrated successfully and everything is working. Thank you so much.